Welcome, everybody. Today we're doing another lesson about conditional grammar. This is a continuation of the previous lesson, but we're going to review everything. So even if you missed the last chapter, that is all right. We're going to cover everything again in a different way and make sure that you all understand. So with that in mind, we're going to have Diana, if you could read the lesson objectives for us.
Some objective. Adriana or Diana?
Diana.
Okay, lesson objectives. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to accurately recognize and use the zero, first, second, and third conditional structures, discuss real, possible, hypothetical, and past and real situations using conditionals, analyze stories and real-world examples to determine the appropriate conditional form.
Perfect. Yep. So we're working with all four types of conditional. And then we're looking at the different scenarios we would use them. Real situations, possible, hypothetical, and then past situations. So perfect. We'll switch to Isa. If you want to look at the first warm-up question.
So I can read the screen. So I don't know what happened with my, I'm trying to read, but I don't know how to.
Okay, we'll switch to Adriana while you get that fixed.
Okay. How do you feel if you don't drink coffee in the morning?
It's okay.
Now, what would you say, Adriana?
If I don't drink coffee in the morning, I will feel lazy.
Yeah, perfect. So if I don't drink coffee in the morning, so we're using present tense. And then I feel lazy. We're using present tense. So something that is generally true, or general truth. Okay, very good. Stephanie, second question.
Sure. What will you do if you finish your work or study early this week? If I finish my work or study early this week, I will be relaxed. Great. Relaxed. Great.
So instead of saying be relaxed, because the question is what will you do, right? Like an activity, we could say relax, right? Or what were you gonna say? What were you gonna say, Stephanie?
Could be I will go to a party.
Okay, kind of the opposite of relax, but yeah, go to a party. Yeah. So if I finish early, I will go to a party. Yep, that's very good. And so here, we're talking about like a possible future. Okay. Possible present or future. And so we're using the words present tense, right? Finish and will. So we're using will. Okay. Next one to Diana.
If you could instantly master one new skill, which would you choose and why? A skill could be a sport.
Yeah, it could be a sport. Yeah.
Okay, I would choose surfing. I love the ocean and the sense of freedom, and the waves. So That's why I would choose this. And it's something very hard for me to get into the ocean with the big table surf. I don't know how to say this.
Oh,
The
surfboard,
table
yeah.
surfboard, yes. So that would be amazing. Yeah.
Okay. And so the first half of the question or the response, well, yeah, you could just say if I could. Yeah. Yeah.
If I
So
could,
if
I
I
would
could,
choose.
yeah. So here we're using past tense, right? Could, and then we're using would. Because instantly mastering a new skill, very unlikely, right?
Yes.
So, present or future. Okay. And then Isa, are you able to access your
Yeah,
screen now?
yeah,
Okay.
thank you. Sorry. If you had made a different career choice 5 years ago, where would you be now? 5 years ago was on the pandemic.
Okay.
Finish of the pandemic. Probably I will be moving on to the other country, probably living abroad, starting for to be an excellent cooker.
Cook, yeah, cook, not cooker. Yeah.
Yes, I love it. I
Um,
love it.
okay. But let's use the grammar. So it's saying if I had made,
Okay.
would have. So how do we start the sentence?
If I had made a different career, would have been an famous cook.
You
A
can use
cook.
becoming.
A famous cook. Ah, would have become a famous cook. A rare bus. Hypothetically, yeah.
Yeah, so this is like a hypothetical. That it's not possible. Like we can't go back in time and change it. But yeah, so we have had made, right? So that's the past perfect, had made, and then we have would have. So those are our keys making this work. Okay. So we'll do the grammar review, but you guys all did a stellar job on the warm up. So maybe we don't need the review, but we're still going to do it. We have the 4 types of conditional, and we have 4 students. So that works perfectly. We will start with Diana, if you want to read for us 0 conditional.
Zero conditional. We use the zero conditional to talk about general truths, situations that are real and definitely happen. The form of the zero conditional is if plus present tense verb plus present tense verb.
So if water gets hot, it boils. This is like a general truth. If I don't have coffee, I am tired. Also a general truth. Okay. Isa, conditional number 1, first conditional.
Perfect. The first conditional is less certain than the zero conditional, so it talks about things that will probably happen. The form of the first conditional is if plus present tense verb plus will verb.
Yeah, so if you take this class, you will learn right? So it's like a likely outcome. Second conditional, Adriana.
Second conditional, we use the second conditional to talk about the event that is not likely to happen. The form of the second conditional is if plus past tense verb plus would plus verb.
Yeah, so it could be like unlikely, it could be impossible, but it's something that we're kind of doubting. Like we could say like if I were a famous cook, I would make lots of money. So we could do it that way, or we could say if I lived on Mars, I would be happy. So we could use it for unlikely things. We could use it for impossible things. Both of those work. Okay. And then we'll do Stephanie, third conditional.
Third conditional. The third conditional is used to imagine the possible results of an event that did not actually happen. The form of the third conditional is if plus past perfect plus would have plus past participle.
So like if I had learned to dance before moving to Colombia, I would have had more fun at the parties. So it's something that we're referring to the past in this case. And it's like oftentimes used to express regrets. So we'll do one more grammar rule and then we'll see if there's any questions. Diana, if you want to read for us the deep dive.
Grammar concepts deep dive on the zero conditional. The zero conditional is used to talk about scientific facts, general truth, and routines, habitual actions. It describes things that always happen under certain conditions. This conditional is often used for scientific facts, habits, or rules. The structure follows if plus present simple, present simple. Note, both clauses use the present simple tense because the result is always true when the condition is met.
Right? So we have the condition from before, like if I don't have coffee. So as long as that condition, I don't have coffee happens, I am tired. Like it's always true. Okay. Any questions on these before we move forward? This is your chance. Okay. If you have a question, someone else might have that same question. Okay, so we're going to practice these. So zero conditional, we just talked about it, present, present. Isa, I'll have you do question number 1.
Perfect. If you don't drink water, you get dehydrated.
Okay. Is that a true statement? Isa?
Yes, I'm thinking. You don't drink water, you get yes.
Yeah, so in general truth.
General truth.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. And then we'll go down here. So Isa, I'll also have you do this one, this question.
It's okay. What happened if you don't get enough sleep before work? If you don't sleep enough before work, probably you can be concentrated in your talks.
Yeah. So if you don't get enough sleep, you could also say don't sleep enough. Yeah. Sleep enough. You can't concentrate on your tasks. Yeah, so this is like a routine or habitual.
Habitual.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. So let's do the next one. Adriana, first conditional.
If you finish your work early today, what will you do with your free time?
Mhm.
If I finish my work early today, I will see my favorite series.
Series?
Period.
Like that? Series?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I will see my favorite series. What's your favorite series, Adriana?
But, in this moment, I don't remember the name, but it's about the Highlands in UK.
Yeah. So a story about the Highlands in the UK. Perfect. Yeah. So we have present tense and then we have will. See. Yeah, because it's first conditional. It's a real possibility.
The name is Highlander.
Highlander. Okay. Okay. Awesome. And then Stephanie, second conditional.
All right. If you could work in any country in the world, where would you choose and why? Okay, if I could work in any country in the world, I would choose Canada because I like their landscapes.
Okay. What part of Canada would you choose? What part of Canada? Like where in Canada?
Ontario.
Ontario?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, they have like Toronto,
Yeah.
Ottawa, Thunder Bay. Yeah, yeah. Ontario is really nice. I like it. I mean, I like all of Canada. Canada's one of my favorite countries. But yeah, here we have past tense because it's unlikely that you could work in whatever country you want to. There's all the limitations. And then would, what you would do in that circumstance. Okay, cool. And the last one, and the hardest one, I'm sorry. Diana, you get third conditional.
Okay. If you had studied different subject at university, how would your career be different? If I had studied a different subject, that would be marine biology. Yeah, I need to explain which subject I would choose or not.
I mean, you don't have to. You can if you want to.
Okay. If I had this, my career would be totally different than now because I would spend more time in the ocean than in the city.
Far more time.
More time.
Yeah. So here we have the if I had studied, right? So the past perfect. And then we have would have, um, marine biology. And then you went on to share that your career would be or would have been, right? Would have been totally different than now. Yeah, far more time in the ocean. Okay, cool. And we'll do one more, Isa, if you want to do question number 4.
Perfect. How would the world be different in the 2008 financial crisis had never happened?
I guess it's a little complicated, but you can give a simple answer if
because
you
I
want.
don't know, I don't know too much
Just be like,
about.
it'd be better. It'd be better.
I don't have information about that crisis.
Okay, so
Probably yes. I don't know. I don't have information about that crisis.
so we can answer it this way.
But this is
Good.
happening in Colombia.
It was a global financial crisis.
Okay.
I don't know how it impacted Colombia, but
Yeah.
I don't know how the world would have. Okay, so yeah, so I don't know how the world would have been different if that hadn't have happened.
That happened. Mm-hmm.
All right, we could say hadn't happened. Yeah, no, that's fine. And yeah, I mean, as we can see, the grammar gets pretty complicated when we get to the third conditional, um, which is both the good and the bad of it. That like if you're doing a test, like let's say you're doing like the TOEFL or something or the IELTS, and they ask you a question, and you say like, I don't know how the world would have been different if it hadn't had happened. Like they are gonna give you like big points. Whereas if you just say like, I don't know what would have happened, like they're just gonna be like, oh, okay, like this person, like they speak English, but they're not pushing. So this is kind of pushing to the next level. Okay, so here we have a story. And so remember we have 0, which is general truth. What's first conditional, Diana? Do you remember when we use it?
If, no?
If, yeah.
If.
Yeah. So if, like likely, present, future. Okay. Isa, when do we use second conditional?
If.
If, yeah. If, unlikely,
Unlikely.
present or future. Okay. And Stephanie, third conditional. We were just looking at third conditional. When do we use that?
Third conditional or regrets.
Yeah, regrets. Or?
Past.
Situation.
No, unreal past. Exactly. Yeah, so these are our 4 choices for this exercise. General truth, likely present, unlikely present, unreal past. Okay, and we're going to fill in, we have the highlighted sentence that uses the conditional. We're going to fill in which conditional we see. Okay, so we will start with Adriana.
Okay, Sara, an economist at the World Bank, has a simple rule. If she doesn't drink her morning matcha, she becomes a zombie. Zero conditional.
Yeah, zero conditional. Perfect. Okay. Next one. Let's see. You get a little bit longer passage, Stephanie.
Okay. She arrives at the office groggy and barely functioning, only to realize that her favorite moth has mysteriously disappeared. Great, she mutters. If she finds out who took it, she will give them a very serious lecture on office etiquette.
Etiquette. Yeah.
That's that's second. No, first. Sorry. First
And when do we
condition.
use first conditional?
In a possible
Yeah, likely.
future.
Likely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because second conditional can be like possible. Like I could say like, oh, like if I moved back to the United States, I would be miserable. It's very possible that I could move back to the United States, but I don't want to. So yeah, it's more likely versus unlikely. Okay. And then Diana.
At first, she needs caffeine. She marches to the break room only to discover that the coffee machine is broken again. If she had known this would happen, she would have brought her own thermos. Mm, First, likely present or regret. I don't know. First and
Okay,
third.
so is she talking about the present, past, present, or future? If she had known.
She's complete.
She had known. She's in present, but if she knew that the machine was broke, she would bring the second, present, future.
So yeah, so oh, whoops.
Likely first, likely present or future, or the third because it's a regret that she didn't bring her thermos.
Yeah, so it's a regret. Yeah, she didn't bring her thermos, but in this case, she's talking about the past. If she had done that, like if that had
Okay.
happened, so we're talking about something that didn't happen. And then would have, we're talking about like the outcome if that past action had happened. So
Okay.
yeah. But yeah, the third conditional is the hardest. So it's okay. Let's see. Isa, do you know groggy?
Use as what paragraph? What paragraph?
Do you see the highlighted word? Groggy.
So what means?
Yeah, what does the groggy mean?
For me, like a dizzy.
Okay. It's kind of like dizzy. Can anyone help Isa out a little bit?
Mm,
Not quite dizzy.
yes, I say dizzy or sick.
In this case, tired.
Shocked or tired.
Yeah. So groggy is kind of the tired that you have when you wake up in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then Adriana, do you know what a thermos is?
Thermos. I thing that we use to put tea or coffee, hot coffee or hot tea to go to other place.
Yeah, so used to put, or we could say transport hot coffee or hot tea. Yeah, yeah, no, very good. Okay, let's keep going. Stephanie, sorry, not the whole thing. Just that portion. Oh, and let me bring these down for you. Okay, so that's the same portion that I highlighted. Stephanie.
Okay. Just as she's contemplating whether she can survive the morning without caffeine, her boss, Mr. Thompson, calls her into his office. Sara, big meeting in 10 minutes. Are you ready? She blinks. If she had actually read his mail last night, she wouldn't have been panicking right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's very conditional.
Okay, you think it's third conditional. Did she read the email last night?
Mm,
Did she read the email last night? It says if
No,
she had read his email. Did she read
no.
the email? She didn't read the email.
She
So are we talking about past, present, or future?
passed.
Past, yep. So unreal past. Yep. Unreal past. If she had
She
read
couldn't
the
read.
email. Yeah, very good. Okay. And then we go to Diana.
Of course, she lies, grabbing a random stack of papers. She knows she has to wing it. If she speaks confidently enough, no one will notice that she has no idea what she's talking about. It could be a general truth.
Okay. So is it referring to a specific situation or to a general situation?
A specific situation.
Specific situation. And we see present tense here. What do we see here?
Future. So the first.
Yeah, first conditional. Yeah, first conditional, exactly. Yeah. Okay. And Isa, do you know what it means to wing it?
Yes, mm, like a to act very fast
Yeah, yeah, to act very, yeah. Um,
or quickly, yeah,
or we could say like improvise.
or improve. Mm-hmm.
Improvise. Yeah, improvise. Okay. Yeah, very good. Okay. And then we'll have Isa if you want to do this one here.
Okay. After somehow surviving the meeting, Sarah sits at her desk, finally sipping on a terrible instant coffee a colleague has given her. She says if she ever gets promoted, she will install a state-of-the-art coffee machine in her department. For me, it's second conditional because it's
Okay, so,
unlikely present or future. Unlikely?
so unlikely that she gets promoted.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at the grammar and see if the grammar can guide us. So if we have a second conditional, an unlikely situation, it would be if she ever got promoted. Right? Because we use the past. But what do we see here? What tense is that? Gets.
Present or future.
Yeah, present tense. And then you're right. Yeah, this is future.
Future.
Okay. So for
It's
a
one.
likely, so it would be which conditional?
Present.
Well, both first and second conditional and general truths can all be present. So is it likely, unlikely, or general?
General.
Generally true. Okay. Let's see. Stephanie, can you help out a little bit?
Excuse me.
So what's the difference between a general truth and a likely truth? What's the difference between zero conditional and first conditional?
Okay. First condition, zero conditional is something real, a fact.
Yeah, real, fact, and always true.
But first conditional, it's likely as can happen, but at the same time cannot.
Yeah, so not always true.
Mhm.
Okay. And what about second conditional?
Second conditional is a less likely, unlikely
Unlikely.
possibility
Yeah.
of happening. And third conditional, it is not probably to happen.
And then, well, third conditional is the past.
Mhm.
So, yeah, if she had gotten promoted, she would have installed, right? Okay, so yeah, so these are our four, and then if we were to have like a general truth, like if someone gets promoted, they make more money, right? That would be something that would be like a general truth. If someone gets promoted, they make more money. If she gets promoted, she will install. And then here, if she gotten promoted, Stephanie, what would we say instead of she will install?
You would.
Would. Yeah, she would install. Yeah. Yeah. So I think I mentioned this. I mean, I know you weren't all in the last class, but I'll mention it again. That we can use the second conditional to bully people. Like I don't encourage you to bully people, but like if you wanted to, this would be like a nice like indirect way of doing it. Um, so if you say to somebody like, "Oh, if you get promoted, you will do this," you're saying like it's likely that they'll get promoted. But if you say like, "Oh, if you got promoted, you would do that," you're saying like, "Oh, like it's unlikely that they would have that thing happen." So, like if you were still in school together and you say like, "Oh, like if you graduated, you would be able to find a good job." Like you're saying like this is an unlikely situation, right? Graduated, unlikely. Or like if you ever talked to a girl, you would get a date. Like you're saying, like, oh, like that's very unlikely that you will ever like talk to a girl. So yeah, so it's a way of bullying people. And so sometimes people will even like emphasize this word. So they'll say like, if you ever talked to a girl, you would get a date. Um, to like emphasize like that's just not gonna happen. It's so unlikely. So here we are, first conditional. Okay, and let's keep going. We'll go to Adriana.
But for now, she has to focus on her report. If she doesn't submit it by 5 p.m., her boss will be furious. The first conditional.
Perfect. First conditional. Okay. Diana.
She stares at the screen, completely unmotivated. If I take a quick break, it won't hurt, she tells herself. I think it won't hurt.
Yeah, won't
Likely.
is what
Second
won't is a
condition.
contraction of what words?
It won't.
What two words do we combine together to get won't?
Doesn't? No, I don't know. It doesn't hurt. No.
Will plus
Oh,
not. Equals won't.
it will not.
Yeah. So won't hurt. So we see will there. We remember will from before. Is this a general truth? Likely, unlikely, or past?
Likely.
Likely, yeah. Okay, and then we will have Isa, if you want to finish.
Yeah. 2 hours later, she is deep into an internet rabbit hole about the history of vending machines. Just then, her boss walks by. Sara quickly minimizes
Okay.
her browser. If she's going to get this done, she will need to focus. Okay, this is zero conditional.
So are we talking about a general situation or are we talking about a specific situation?
In specific situations.
So for us, a likely specific situation.
Yes, it's two. It's second.
Well, it says here second is unlikely.
Pardon. First conditional.
First conditional. Yeah.
Excuse me.
So yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah, I mean these are challenging concepts that we're working with. So yeah, I don't imagine that it comes naturally to anybody, but hopefully this was helpful today. Unfortunately, we have, well, maybe fortunately, unfortunately, I'm not sure which. We have way more material than we have time for. Then we have comprehension questions using zero conditional, first conditional, and third conditional. But let's see. We'll do one. Adriana, can you answer question number 1 for us?
What happens if Sarah doesn't drink her morning matcha?
Okay. Remember,
If,
zero conditional.
if she doesn't drink her morning matcha, she is tired.
She is tired. Yeah. Or she is a zombie. Okay, so we have present, and then we have present. Okay. Let's see. And Stephanie, question 6.
Okay. If Sarah finds out who took her mood, what will she do? She said that. Okay. If Sarah found okay, she would well, first conditional. I was thinking in second. So it is, if Sarah finds out who took her mood, she will broke. I remember something.
She'll break something.
She will break. Sorry.
Well, let's go back and see. You could be right. I don't know. If she finds out who took her mug, what does it say here?
She will give them a very serious lecture on office etiquette.
Etiquette, yeah.
Etiquette.
Yeah, so
Answer.
is there a way that you could shorten that to summarize?
Okay, she will, for example, she will give a lesson.
Yeah, she will give a lesson. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, because we don't want to say like the whole like thing
Yeah,
like over again. But yeah, she will
she will give a lesson.
give them a lesson. Yeah. Yeah, and then this would be if Sarah found out, when do we use the second conditional? What would this be? Would this be likely or unlikely? Found out, if we said it this way.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, unlikely, exactly. Yeah. So some of this is like up to the speaker. Like I said about the bullying. Like if you think that it's like very unlikely that she's gonna find out, then you can say if she found out. But if you think that it's likely that she's gonna find out, you can say finds out. So it's up to the speaker to decide what is and isn't likely. Like Isa might say, like, Spence, if you move back to the United States, I'll be very sad. And I say, oh, that's so sweet, Isa. But she's saying move. She's using present tense. She's saying will. She's using first conditional. She thinks it's likely that I'll move back to the US. I say, no, if I moved back to the United States, I would be miserable. I'm saying it's an unlikely event. I don't want to move back to the US. So unfortunately, that's all the time we have. Feel free to text me or email me with questions. I will send you all a link to this document. And thank you so much for your participation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Spence.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, guys.
Thank you.